Hello and welcome to this short demonstration of the Analyse mode in list pages, first released in Business Central version 22. One of the newest features within Business Central is to analyse list page data. In version 23, this has been enhanced further with the ability to use queries to pull information from other tables. Now let's take a look at this functionality, but there's a couple of prerequisites first. If you're using version 22, then this must be enabled through feature management, and you're looking for analysis mode, quickly analyse data directly in BC. In version 23 and later, this is enabled automatically, and users must have certain permissions in order to use it. So if you exclude those permissions, then those particular people won't be able to use the analyse mode. So in our example, let's take a look at the customer ledger entries. And you'll notice on the top left hand side there's the button to analyse. So if you switch that off, you go back to the standard view, and we'll switch it on now and take a look at the data that we can analyse. So on the right hand side you've got the columns, and you can tick or untick those to remove them. So if I untick a few, you can see there that the screen's updated as you tick them. What you can also do is you can drag row groups down. So if you wanted to look at document type and say by customer number. So if you expand this option in the left hand side for payment, you can see that you've got a customer that has 6 transactions, and you can scroll across here to the right then to look at the values of those transactions. Also highlighting the columns, you'll notice here that the summary bar at the bottom updates, and it tells you that there's currently 500 rows. You've got the average of the rows that I have highlighted. There's your count, and you've got your min and max value, and you've also got the sum. So if you update another few rows, you'll see that your summary updates every time that is selected. Now filters can also be applied. So say for example, if we click over here, these are all of the fields that we can start to apply filters. So say for example, we only want to look at invoices. So let's just select invoices, and let's put in dates. So say for example, we maybe want to look at a particular month. Enter your details of your from and your to, and you can see now that that updates. So we've got 7 invoices, and these are the customers, and if I expand those, then those are the individual transactions that make up that summary. Now what you can also do is you can save that analysis, so you can rename it, and if I just call that, say, October invoices, so rename. And you can also then send this link to another user within Business Central. So if I copy that link, so you can copy that and paste that into an email, and once the recipient clicks on that link, then they will also be taken in to this same view. Now moving on then to say something else like your item ledger entries. And again, I've already looked at another analysis here, so that's defaulted back on. And all I've done here is, if I go back to the columns, I've just grouped everything by location code. And I've also put a filter on the entry type. So I'm only looking at purchases. And you can see here that I can now expand this information, and I can look at all of the transactions that have happened within that time period. So it's very flexible in the things that it allows you to do. Now, I mentioned that it will also look at queries. So if you have a pre-built query, you can get that added on to the page that it's relevant. So if I look at my customer list and I search for my query, so what you can see here is that this is looking at the customers, but it's also looking up the posted sales invoice lines. So it's grouping by city grouping by item, and it's summing the total quantity and the total line amount. Now I've only got a few columns added onto this query, but you can have as many columns that you need, and you could even link it to your credit table, and you could pull that information in as well. So you can still place filters. So if I'm looking here at blank, or say for example I also just want to look at Cambridge, you can see that updates straight away. And again, you can save that and send that off to other people. And again, you'll see here in the summary, as soon as you start to highlight rows, that information then updates on your summary bar below. So in summary, the analyse gives you the flexibility to group the list page data in any shape or form, and it will also allow you to group multiple tables together and present that in a pivot. On a final note, thanks for listening, and for more information please visit our website at www.sysco-software.com.